Another week has just gone by, and it's good to see you again on this latest episode of Culture Mosaic. As usual, we'll be giving you a closer look at the stories that feature the people, places, and events that are embracing parts of Vietnamese culture. And in today's edition, we'll take off to Phu Lãng Ceramic Village in Bắc Ninh Province to see how artisans there are helping to keep the art and craft of making unique pottery products. And later on, get ready for some fusion of Asia, Europe, and the US gastronomy brought about by village chefs. A cuisine festival has been held for the first time in Hanoi. But before we get to that, let's check out what we have for you in upcoming 30 minutes of our show today. Exploring the art of Western calligraphy, which gains popularity among Vietnamese youngsters. Then we'll meet with Jeff Von der Smith, a Grammy Award-winning conductor who assists Vietnamese chamber music artists. And Village the Chefs Festival connects food lovers in Hanoi. We now begin with some culture stories in our cultural and lifestyle segments. Located 60 kilometers from Hanoi, Phu Lãng Ceramic Village in Quế Võ District, Bắc Ninh Province is one of the oldest pottery centers in the Red River Delta. The village is best known for its unique pottery products made using traditional techniques. And in the following report, we will find out what makes the pottery here so special and how the traditional craft has been preserved and developed through generations.
Natural colors that are long-lasting and strange, rough yet strong shapes that carry the beauty of clay and fire. This is what people think about Phu Lãng ceramics. Located along the Cầu River, Phu Lãng Ceramics Village has preserved its traditional art for hundreds of years. According to village elders, pottery making dates back more than 6 centuries here.
Đồ Phu Lãng thì nó sẽ gần với cái đồ điêu khắc, có nghĩa là nó có cái độ đậm đấy. Chẳng hạn như ở Bát Tràng thì trông nó mỹ miều, nó tinh tế, như ở gốm Phu Lãng thì nó gần như một cái sự thô, một cái sự cục mịch, nhưng mà khi mà mình ngắm kỹ thì nó cũng có cái chiều sâu.
Phu Lãng mainly produces household utensils such as water jars, urns, bowls, plate, and pots. Each item contains the idyllic nature of the countryside. Clay used to make these pottery products must be especially limber and soft.
Riêng cái nguyên đất này là nó rất quan trọng. Không thể lấy đất ở các nơi khác mà mang về làm Phu Lãng, là cái nghề của Phu Lãng. Bởi vì hàng Phu Lãng đun bằng cái thủ công, bằng lò tổ cốc, mà đun là trực tiếp mà lửa vào sản phẩm. Thế thì cái nguyên liệu đất này là phải lấy rất là chuẩn, mà chỉ có một là bên Quế Võ có, hai là bên Yên Dũng có. Thì ngoài ra các cụ ngày xưa cũng đã từng đi thử hết tất cả các nơi rồi, nhưng không nơi nào làm được.
Each piece of clay must be kneaded dozens of times before it is placed on the table to shape and decorate. Different from other ceramic villages, artisans here still use bamboo rod to create different shapes.
Ở Phu Lãng với tôi thì tôi thấy có một cái lợi thế, chính là cái xương đất nó dẻo, là rất dễ để cho mình thực hiện những cái động tác tạo hình. Và một cái phần nữa là cái màu khi lung lên ở một cái nhiệt là 1200 độ, 1250 độ có thể hơn nữa, và cái độ đậm của xương đất và độ đậm của màu men nó tạo ra sự đặc biệt.
With the same materials what were used centuries ago, young artisans trained at fine arts institutions are bringing new life to the clay and elevating the art. Phu Lang pottery is strongly developing with many types of fine art products decorated with lotuses, landscaped pagodas, and various shapes. Born and raised in a family of potters, Vũ Hữu Nhung is skilled at making many pottery products. Based on traditional yield skin glaze combined with diverse forms, Nhung has created attractive fine art pottery products. This has brought new life to potters here and helped preserve the popularity of traditional Phu Lang pottery. When touching a piece of pottery, we can feel its smooth and strong surface, which seems simple to make, but requires great precision. This is how the beauty of pottery stands out, and what connects pottery lovers with Nhung's products.
Thực ra cái màu của Phù Lãng nó rất là hạn chế, nhưng mà khi mà mình đưa đúng vào với cái tạo hình, chẳng hạn là với cái hình khối này mà mình đưa được cái màu này vào, hình khối kia đưa được cái màu kia vào, nếu mình đưa đúng thì sản phẩm thì cái tác phẩm nó lại rất là đắt.
As a craft that has lasted for more than 6 centuries, Phu Lang pottery has proved its enduring value through its simple yet strong colors. Here we have found craftsmen zealously working to uphold this tradition.
Now, Western calligraphy has existed for thousands of years and predominantly uses the usual Latin alphabets. This artistic way of writing provides a unique way of capturing impulses and emotions of a moment in time. In recent years, Western calligraphy has become popular in Vietnam, and in this week's Culture and Lifestyle, we will find out more about the art and how it has attracted a host of Vietnamese pen lovers.
Western calligraphy is the art of writing that originated in Western countries, using mainly the Latin alphabet as its medium. It is the design and execution of letters and words with writing instruments. Today, Western calligraphy finds diverse applications, from functional inscriptions to works of fine art. It is typically used for private purposes such as wedding invitations, logo designs, and memorial documents. Calligraphers emphasize the appearance of letters over other factors like ease and speed. Students may spend years learning the craft and the unique loops and flourishes that make up letters. According to Đào Huy Hoàng, one of Vietnam's most well-known calligraphers, Western calligraphy attracts Vietnamese young people with its aesthetic value.
Trong thời đại số hiện nay thì các công cụ máy móc thì giúp thực hiện các công việc nó nhanh hơn thôi. Còn các giá trị cốt lõi thì đều bắt nguồn từ calligraphy cả. Cho nên là nó là cái giá trị mà không thể thay đổi được.
Like other art forms, Western calligraphy requires few items to start. A calligraphy pen, water-based ink, and paper. With the right tools and instruction, anyone can learn calligraphy. However, constant practice is needed to develop the skill.
Có thể nói là calligraphy là nghệ thuật của sự kiên nhẫn. Nếu bạn không có sự kiên nhẫn thì bạn không thể làm được. và kiên nhẫn chính là thiền, nên mà mình mong muốn là cái kiên nhẫn đó sẽ đền đáp cho bạn một cái không gian ở trong trí óc mà bạn có thể giải tỏa được bản thân. Trong thế giới hiện đại có nhiều thứ gây sao nhãng như thế.
In recent years, the art of Western calligraphy has become popular in Vietnam. It attracts those looking to learn new styles of writing. On the weekend, many young people attend Hoang's workshops to practice Western calligraphy. After spending some time with letters and symbols, they have a new way to express their feelings.
Mình nghĩ là khi thực hành calligraphy thì các bạn trẻ sẽ hiểu thêm một cái gì đấy về bản thân của mình. Nó giống như một bộ môn năng khiếu, nhưng mà mình có thể thực hành nhiều hơn và dễ hơn. Các bạn sẽ tránh xa được những, ví dụ như tránh xa Facebook, tránh xa được máy vi tính và những thứ đại loại như vậy.
Sau khi mà mình viết được một loại chữ mới thì mình hay viết thiếp, hoặc là mình viết thư gửi các bạn, hoặc là gửi nhân những ngày đặc biệt, hoặc là gửi những cái bạn ở nước ngoài. Thì thông thường mình thấy phản hồi từ các bạn rất là vui khi mà nhận được những cái tấm thiệp như vậy.
There are various styles of Western calligraphy. Lettering styles are distinguished by aesthetic and formal differences, the shapes of letters, the weight of strokes, and the roundness of corners. Students can learn the specific forms of letters and symbols, or add common flourishes to the ends of letters to make a piece of traditional writing more fancy.
Calligraphy nó không chỉ đơn thuần là viết chữ đẹp, mà nó là sự nghiên cứu cả nghệ thuật, cả khoa học. Cho nên nếu bạn muốn viết tốt thì hãy đọc trước về lịch sử, tập một chút về nét chữ và hãy suy nghĩ xem nó để làm gì, chứ không nên chỉ có bắt viết cho đẹp thôi không. Thì nó không phản ánh hết tinh thần của nó.
Western calligraphy is a great hobby to try. With some basic techniques, you can even study online and practice at home. Calligraphy is not difficult to learn, however, it requires patience and daily practice to master.
You're tuning into Culture Mosaic, our weekly journal featuring the rich cultural diversity of Vietnam and vibrant international cultural events happening around the country. We hope to become the bridge connecting artists and their works with our viewers out there. So don't go away, we have a lot more in this week's instrument coming up for you in just a moment. The chef Von Smith is a Grammy Award-winning conductor from America. Since his first visit to Vietnam 10 years ago, Chef has co-organized many projects to assist Vietnamese chamber music artists. And in light of his latest program entitled Generations, which took place last month in Hanoi, our VTV reporter Ngọc Lê had a chance to talk with him about this project and his special connections with Vietnam.
This is one of 3 concerts entitled Generations, which took place last month in Hanoi. While performed by Vietnamese artists, the nights were co-organized and directed under the baton of Jeff Von Smith, an American conductor with 2 Grammy Awards. Hanoi chamber music lovers were indulged by an interesting set of works by Vietnamese composers spanning 3 generations. Thank you, Jeff, for joining us on the mic today.
Oh, thank you so much.
So the program is entitled Generations, featuring compositions of 3 generations of Vietnamese composers. So where did you get that idea from?
The idea came to me from my Vietnamese colleagues. I'm the artistic advisor to the Hanoi New Music Ensemble, and I wanted them to basically choose the program. So I'm very happy that they've represented a long broad sense of the generations of composers of classical music in Vietnam. In fact, the first composer I believe it's the first string quartet ever written by a Vietnamese composer, and so that I know is included in the program. Then we have a piece by a young man named Nguyen Minh Nhat, who is at the Manhattan School of Music in New York City in the United States studying composition, and it is one of the finest pieces I've seen from any young composer. And this one definitely is very, very impressive and has already a unique voice for a composer of 17.
Generations features works by 6 Vietnamese chamber music composers, from the first generation of late composer Đỗ Nhuận and Đặng Huệ Phúc to the second of Vũ Nhật Tân, Trần Kim Ngọc and Đặng Hồng Anh, and finally a 17-year-old Nguyễn Minh Nhật. This is Jeff's first event in Vietnam after he and his wife were appointed the first American artistic advisors for the Hanoi New Music Ensemble in August. This piece is expressed through the perspective of the renowned American composer offered a new angle on already known works.
Tôi rất bất ngờ với tác phẩm ngày hôm nay bởi vì nó khác hẳn, tức là nó có một cái cuộc sống giai điệu riêng nhưng mà vẫn rất đậm nét Việt Nam, rất dân tộc, rất hay.
Thực ra thì tác phẩm thì nó vẫn là như thế thôi, nhưng mà nhạc trưởng người Mỹ là họ có nhiều kinh nghiệm trong việc dàn dựng tác phẩm, cho nên họ hiểu những tác phẩm sẽ được dàn dựng để có thể vang lên tốt nhất, gần hơn với cả đẳng cấp của thế giới.
Describing a girl's feeling and process of growing up, this composition was created more than 20 years ago when Trần Kim Ngọc, the composer, was only 20. Having heard it played countless times by foreign orchestras, Ngọc was still amazed by how it was performed under Jeff's direction.
Một cái sự ngạc nhiên rất là lớn bởi vì tác phẩm này cũng đã từng được biểu diễn và từng được chơi bởi những dàn nhạc nước ngoài, những chỉ huy cũng tương đối là có tên tuổi. Nhưng đây là cái lần mà mình cảm thấy là hài lòng nhất, mình cảm thấy nhiều cảm hứng nhất, gần gũi nhất cái tinh thần của tác phẩm.
So what is the message that you want to convey through this program?
The message for me is that I believe that Vietnam will benefit from focusing on Vietnamese composers. The international world, the world of the United States, of Japan, of Europe, will in fact be very, very interested in a strong voice from Vietnam. The story of Vietnam is the story of the modern era. What occurred here in the 20th century with the wars with Japan in the Second World War, then with France, and then with the United States in the American War, is the numerous political currents and ideas that define the 20th century play out in Vietnam. And I know that there's a big hunger from the outside the curiosity is so great that I'm happy to bring an American dimension that will connect these Vietnamese composers outside of ASEAN and East Asia.
Jeff and the Vietnamese artist only had 10 days to practice 8 compositions for 3 concerts, but that was enough for his Vietnamese friends to see his passion as well as deep understanding about Vietnamese music.
Thực sự đây là một điều cảm hứng lần đầu tiên tôi có khi mà chơi tác phẩm Việt Nam với một chỉ sĩ nước ngoài. Ông cũng nghiên cứu về văn hóa Việt Nam, chính vì thế ông khơi được cái hồn của Việt Nam trong mỗi tác phẩm.
Tác phẩm tôi viết tên là Phố thì ông Jeff ở đây đã 9 năm rồi. Thì ông Jeff cũng rất hiểu về cái sự phức tạp trong cái giao thông của Hà Nội, cũng như là những cái tiếng ồn và mọi thứ trên đường phố, vì thế ông truyền tải rất là tốt cái ý đồ của tôi như là tác giả vào trong cái dàn nhạc.
So you have performed in many places around the world, but I can see you have a special connection with Vietnam. So can you tell us more about that?
Yes, my connection with Vietnam honestly goes back to a woman who was my acupuncturist. The last time I saw her when she treated me, and she said, "I want you to try to make something wonderful happen." My first day here was January 9th, 2005. At that point, we were meeting the directors of the Vietnam National Academy at that time, and we were discussing whether we would come. So we did come in 2006. Then the U.S. State Department recognized the potential we would have for really developing the new generation of musicians.
Jeff Bonus Mitch was born in Los Angeles, California in 1955. He's the conductor and founding artistic director of Southwest Chamber Music. Jeff received 2 Grammy Awards in 2003 and 2004, as well as 9 nominations for 30 CDs. He has conducted concerts internationally in Europe, Asia, and Vietnam. In 2010, Jeff and his wife, Jan Carlin, created the Ascending Dragon Music Festival and Culture Exchange, sponsored by the U.S. Department of State. It was the largest culture exchange yet between Vietnam and the U.S. So you've been working with Vietnamese artists a lot for the past 10 years. What is your impression about them?
They're very flexible. There is, in fact, a gap of their knowledge of repertoire, which is where we come in as Americans. They've not been exposed to a lot of the core repertoire of the 20th century: Bartók, Stravinsky, Schoenberg, Berg, Webern, Messiaen, Stockhausen. And what's interesting is that the composers have been. So the players are in one place and the composers are in another. And what we're hope to do in the next few years is to make that place more even. So the composers get really wonderful performances from Vietnamese musicians. I also think that there is an energy between myself as an American with Vietnamese players that is hard to define, but is there. Sometimes when someone comes from the outside, you can see yourself better. That's certainly what the Vietnamese have given me about being an American, and I hope that I inspire them with confidence.
So you first came to Vietnam 10 years ago, and you have kept the connection with the countries ever since. What is your favorite thing about Vietnam?
Oh, it's the food. No doubt about it. The street food, the activity on the street, and it's the French hangover of the architecture. I have to say the Vietnamese are the warmest people in terms of their interaction with other nationalities. It's a mysterious quality, but it's on the one side very serene and Buddhist, on the other side very energetic, very entrepreneurial, and sometimes when things look like they're going wrong, they sort themselves out in 5 minutes.
Thank you very much for your time, and good luck.
The Gastronomy Feast, with a fusion of Asia, Europe, and the US, was held on November the 10th in Hanoi. The event was brought about by village chefs for the first time in Vietnam, with the participation of 21 master chefs from all over the world. Now stay with us for the next 5 minutes to enjoy their food as well as their culinary expertise to see how different cultures can be connected through cuisine.
Village de Chefs is a non-profit organization of over 30 French-speaking chefs from around the world, sharing their love for cuisine and cooking experiences, especially with younger generations. After France and the United States, over 20 chefs flew to Hanoi to offer food lovers in the capital city an unforgettable dinner feast. In the early morning, 21 chefs work in the Hoa Sữa College to prepare for the 300-guest dinner later the same day. What's special about this Village of the Chefs festival is that chefs will showcase their own dishes, those made with ingredients from their home countries. Nicolas Vian chose a recipe from Mauritius Island.
Now for this Chefs Festival, we create a recipe. It's called a roti. Roti, it's an Indian and Mauritian recipe with some a wrap like this. The name of the wrap is called a roti, and we put inside, we use a Western fish, it's a salmon. And on top of that, we use some Indian spice, Mauritian spice, so sour, spicy, bitter. We put some fresh herbs from Vietnam to match with the local culture. So we try to make something very similar to the Vietnamese spring rolls, but with a different touch from Mauritius.
While many chefs opted for Western cuisine, David Lacroix, who has worked in Vietnam for 12 years now, added some Vietnamese flavors.
Try to keep something more like Vietnamese, a little bit of Vietnamese mixed with Vietnamese and Western style. We have some shrimp smoke from the Mekong Delta. We have also some khao lao from Hoi An. This is where I'm from, so khao lao is very important.
Transmissions is a top priority for these chefs. That is why they worked with local students at Hoa Sữa College to share their cooking experience.
So the reason I take part is because you need to share the culinary culture, also to share with the student, because this is our motto from Village de Chef. Transmission is to pass the knowledge. Students in Vietnam are always good and try to learn and to improve themselves.
Tôi cảm thấy rất là vui ạ, vì mình học hỏi được rất là nhiều thứ ạ. Có những thứ mà học ở trường nhưng chúng tôi chưa thể học được những cái này. Chúng tôi học được sự nhiệt tình ạ và sự say mê mà anh ấy muốn giúp chúng tôi ạ, muốn truyền nhiệt cho chúng tôi.
After 5 hours of preparation, food is ready for the evening. French-style oysters, salmon sushi, and roti from Mauritius Island are just some of the 21 dishes that diners could enjoy at the festival.
We have here different kind of wines, we have different food, it's very diversified. We can see here many chefs from different countries. I met one chef, he came from New York just for this event, you know. So it's amazing.
Everybody talk about Japan cuisine, French cuisine, Chinese cuisine, Thailand cuisine, and know enough about the Vietnamese. Why I write 4 books around the world, and I push the Vietnamese chef to talk about and to the people, to help the chef, or to invest on the school. Sure, he give back to the country. Encourage the young people, the chef.
Food from around the world converge in a memorable dinner. The third Village of Chefs in Vietnam presented Vietnamese food lovers with an impressive evening and gave master chefs from all over the world a chance to teach young aspiring chefs.
And that also brings us to the end of this week's Culture Mosaic. I hope you enjoyed the show. As always, remember to send us your comments or suggestions for the show at culturemosaic@vtv.vn. And you can also watch repeats of our program online at vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtv4go. I'm Da Chang in Hanoi, and once again, thank you for watching. And remember to catch us at the same time next week. Goodbye for now.